Hey, what's up, Rube? It's quick. Well, I say that this is gonna be. I always say quick. It's gonna be one of my longest videos ever. I'm rearranging the office as usual. I'm doing some stuff here. Nothing big or whatever, but I'm just going through some changes. Time is a change. Anyway, so what I'm gonna do is I'm making a little bit more room by I'm gonna sell off some of my previously built kits, and I just thought I'd go through kind of and do a little 30-minute video or something, and see the ones I want to keep and what not. So I'm gonna set this down. Let me see if I can scooch over here. Okay, so what I'm doing is I've pulled out. These are pretty much all of my previously built kits, like straight built, just I built them out of the box or whatever. And so I'm going to go through them and kind of just decide on what I want to keep. I've kind of decided that as I was pulling them out. But I kind of want to go. I thought it was kind of interesting to go through some notable stuff here. For example, these are the Knights and the Assassins, the new 30 Minutes Fantasy kits. I just got these, and also I really like them. They're a good size. So you can see the compared to a normal 1 in 144 scale, they're a little bit taller. So they're a great pack of 4 kits. I can use those in my bar and stuff like that. And also they're just these are really nice fun kits if you go. So I'm definitely keeping those. These guys like this, I have the rest of them down here in the line. You'll see them are R-Rise, Re-Rise, Build Fighters. Build Fighters is one of my favorite series. Re-Rise was the kind of the digital. Where did that go? It went on his arm. Kind of the digital, like a VR version. It wasn't as good. I'm still a sucker for the very first season. In fact, I have most of those kits. So, but anyway, I'm gonna go kind of faster than this, hopefully. So I'm definitely gonna, sell those. I was asking on the Facebook group, the San Diego Facebook group, what to sell them for and stuff like that. This big Bob guy here was really kind of an expensive kit, but after I built it, it's just so floppy and stuff like that. But it's a great idea. This is a great custom, and this is the really hard part. Is as I'm dealing with them, I've got to tell myself if I'm not going to customize that soon, let's get rid of it and give it to somebody who can, actually customize it. Like this is the Gyanko's, her more advanced one. I can't remember what it is. And the shoulder actually broke, so I glued it on. I'm going to have to redo that, but I'll just be sure to mention that. But anyway, I was talking to the San Diego Gunpla Club. They said that what they pretty much price stuff at, or a lot of people price stuff at, is about half of what you paid retail. If I did that, I'm making quite a bit of money here. So what I might do is I'm going to sell probably whatever I can at the club. I'd also trade for like even a pre-built, like a large, because as you can see from my collection, I'm doing mostly kind of large scale stuff. Big 125s, those big, Psycho Gundam, stuff like that. That's kind of my thing now. I'm afraid if as I started going through these, I was really scared I was going to go through them and be like, oh, I want to go back to 1 in 144 scale because you can store so many. It's just that kind of thing. But anyway, this is, of course, my favorite guys. I'm not getting rid of these at all, keeping those. This is one of my top 5 favorite 30 minutes kits. To be honest, I love these kits a lot. All the 30 minutes kits I'll probably end up keeping because they are so hot swappable, meaning modular. I mean, I can just pop stuff in and out. Much easier than even modern day Gunpla. They're designed for that. So I'll probably keep all my 30 minutes missions. And also, they're so cheap, really. It's not really going to net me too much of a profit. This is a Pat Labor kit. I panel lined and did some stuff years ago. It's missing the cloth kind of area between the arms. But it has the weapons and everything, and it has a lot of these guys will miss like a little part. They'll have a little part missing, like their weapons. I have all that, and I'll show that in a minute. This Pat Labor kit, really, really cool. I believe the front opens here and stuff like that. There's a seat in there. I loved this kit a lot, but it is kind of fragile and stuff, so I'd be happy to get rid of this one, even though it's panel lined, for pretty cheap, just in case somebody likes Pat Labor, whatever, because somebody might have something more to do with it. I'll see how I feel, though, because it is, like I said, it is pretty fragile. So it's if you collect Pat Labor, it's a cool kit. I've got this line here, the Amine line, whatever. They have some really, really fun kits. This, to me, for example, could be used as even any scale, really. It could use as 112 robot, because if you look, this does not necessarily read 1 and 1. It doesn't read giant. Do you know what I mean? Kind of like a lot of the Gunpla kits. For example, this guy here is from the Amain warrior at the battle line, blah, 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 border at the fighting line or whatever. I just love this look, but that could be just a generic robot of a 112 figure or something like that. So I'll probably end up keeping that one as well. I'll keep the borderline one. So let's move on. Oh, I do have the perfect pack. I love this design so much. I really like this line. Eventually I wanted to collect all these from this line. I loved the look of Reconquista in G minor or whatever. I have it all in there. I need to put it back together. And I think you can still find this pretty easy. It's not like out of print or anything. I say print. I don't know if that's the right term, guys. Let me know. Guys, girls. That's the four-legged one from Re-Rise. All right, so moving on a little bit here. I don't want to make like an hour video. This guy was fantastic. I'll probably keep this guy just because he was so cool. These guys were pretty expensive too. I want to say it was like 50, 60 bucks. All the Digimon type things. As a matter of fact, as I'm looking through this, I'm missing some kits. I have another Digimon over there, and I'm missing some other ones. But I'll probably, if I've gone through most of my boxes, so I don't know. Anyway, I'll find them. So I love this guy. Just a really, really fun kit. Really, really cool. So that I'll keep because it is just so nice. I'm not going to get rid of the really kind of almost collectible ones because they do look so nice, and I did pay a good price for them. I don't need the money or anything like that. I can't remember if this is a Titans kit. Titans, is that the one? Somebody was asking about this in the Gunpla Club. Isn't this a Titans something or other? I got this for cheap. In fact, I think I got it at half price books for nothing. So another 30 minutes kit. Like I said, I'll probably keep all those just because they are so flexible and inexpensive and hot swappable. And it's one of the few. I mean, it's just a fun line. I collect all those. I worked hard to collect them, so I'm like, whatever. Like this guy is just a really odd looking. Actually, these feet are backwards. They're supposed to go like this. Isn't that funny? But I just put them that way just because. So I got tons of those. I'll probably keep all. This is all the 30 minutes kits. I'll pull all those down. This one I don't like really. I mean, he looks cool, but I don't really like, so I might get rid of him. The horse, kind of silly. These are all 30 minutes kits. This is a great thing right here. Check this out. So here you have the carrier. This was pretty inexpensive, but I like this a lot. It could work as a 160 scale. Look at the cockpit size. That could be 160 scale, not 144. So they have a lot of kind of scale agnostic stuff. Now 30 minutes missions does, so I'll probably keep all that. Interesting stuff in here. This is stuff probably I was all going to go, except for this guy. Like I said, this is a Digimon kit. They were so pricey and also so nice. I have the regular yellow version, and they just look insane. This would be so fun to have on my shelf. Like I said, I'm collecting stuff that's big in the hand anymore. If that makes sense. You could see behind me there. You see, like all that stuff. I'm collecting stuff that's bulky. It looks cool. I'm only doing one video a week, so that it can take me a while to collect those. So that it makes me slow down a bit with these 1/144 scale kits. I don't know where that part goes, by the way. Is his beard? Was it his beard? I can't remember where that part goes. Bottom of the hair, maybe. Anyway, I'll look it up. I have all their parts and stuff, but I mean, he's kind of floppy, but looks incredible. See the dragon one on the back shelf there, right there. See that dragon? He's amazing. I would probably buy another one of those. So yeah, I'm keeping that big guy there. I'm running out of room. Let's just scoot the lamp down like this. That one's a little easier. There we go. I can put them on the shelf. So really interesting, guys. I just got this one. I love this design. I'm going to keep that one just because he is one of my favorites. I think I got this little guy. I don't know where I got this. I think I bought him pre-built even. So something like this would be a few dollars. I don't even remember. I'm sure I have his hand somewhere. This little, I think isn't that an MSO8 team person thing? Oh, it has the backpack and everything. Actually, that is what I'll show you down here. As I move down, you'll see the one from Re-Rise that is inspired by this. It has the little backpack that slots in there. Really interesting. Oh, see, I'm missing a part, but I keep all the parts. I'll show you here a bag, for example. Let me grab it. So this is a single bag that I just found today as I was going. Oh, I had some. Oh shit. Anyway, so I have not only, if you will see my other videos, my other reviews, if you look back on my channel a few videos back, you'll see my tower of parts. I have a quadrillion parts. So I have all the parts involved in all of these. All the monster kits I like, I'm going to keep those because they're just so simple. This is the, didn't they sell this in a, was these the Magnac? No, no, this was the Monster Kit. I thought this was sold in the 100 pack, or was that the Maganac or something like that? Maganac, I don't know, something like that. Got this old thing. He's missing his head, but I know where it's at. It's in the head box. This was I loved the, oh, geez, the non-scale RE100 kits. This was a smaller one, though, but it was really a really interesting kit. I don't really care about it, though, because I'm not a huge kind of standard gun, not standard Gunpla, but, you know, Gundam looking kind of purse fan, you know, like these kind of hero kits. I like the weird ones and stuff. I'm sure I would get rid of that. I got some IBO kits up in there. I don't know if you can see that. Let me rotate that there. So I got some good IBO kits. I got some red comets, whatever you call it. This fun little thing, I've got all our parts somewhere. I've got the hair and all that. See, I didn't really like the kit. It kind of fell apart. I've got the... this guy was fantastic, but, you know, I have no use for him at all. I have his shield and all that. I love this. The stickers alone on him looked really good. This is just a fun, good-looking kit. This little funny thing. I've got these weird little things here. I don't know what... I can't remember what these were, but I just bought them, and I thought they were kind of fun. You know, as much as I love... I absolutely love Scope Dogs. This... I had a love and hate relationship easily with this guy because he didn't come with the main gimmick of the thing, which was to get a part to open the hatch, you had to buy a separate P-Bandai part. So, but this was so pricey, and I really like Scope Dog. I'll probably keep this, I'm sure. Let's see here. What am I missing here? Oh, this lady here was a lot of fun. This kit was expensive as well. I don't really have a use for it, but these are kind of a special kit that kind of just look... It's, what's her name from Dragon Ball? The motorcycle transforms. But the motorcycle by itself looks really cool. So that's just an interesting... I don't know. You could probably use like a 112 on that or something like that. It's just an interesting kit. Something like that I'll keep just because I don't know if they still have it, if they still make it. I'm sure they do. But a lot of these, I'm sure, are just kind of gone, you know. Like they don't have it reprinted them or whatever. So somebody tell me if they see something interesting, because I am not an expert on all these kits by any means. Let's see. Oh, these guys were fun. This kit I got for dirt cheap. It was I can't remember what the brand was, what the IP was, but I thought it was really cool. So fun build. The stickers were a little bit much and stuff, but it felt like a really kind of stout, it doesn't look so stout now. It looks like it's falling apart. Gundam. Typical gun cannon, you get those anywhere. Gun cannon was my favorite suit for a long time. These guys here, these little, I can't remember, these are 130s. I don't know what they are, but they would work with my 130s. My Arch Core even, I could dirty them up. I took these to an event where I taught some, like, foster kids or something like that. No, they weren't foster kids. They were, like, you know, kids that were having issues in life. And I taught them how to write stories using, like, bear guides and stuff. And I brought these guys as well. And they immediately, the little boys, took them all to pieces and we're like disassembling them. So I lost some parts, but I bet I have them somewhere, and these are really great. This Micardo, I can't remember what they call these, like little bots that the kids travel in. They're really, really neat. They're a cool looking kit, and they're pretty expensive. So I might, yeah, actually I was just going to say I'm going to keep those because those are for my 135th kit. So I haven't, my wife was asking how much I'm keeping, and I was like, you know, I don't know. We'll have to see. Here's a ton more parts. Again, I have all the weapons. What I'll probably do this week, hopefully before Gunpla Club on this weekend, is I'll have to find their weapons. This came with just one of the Gundam boxes, I believe. Monthly boxes from USA Gundam. I'll probably keep that. I'm not a weapons guy again, so I might just sell that for a few bucks. I don't know how much they are normally, about $10 or something. Let's see. If you see anything really cool, just holler at me in the comments, and I'll stop and go back to put a timestamp. I have all these special effects parts. Not only that, but then I have all these. I have more than this. This is an entire thing of parts, heads, eyes, arms. So I've got to put all that together, and that's been my goal this year, is to get all the little projects I've been meaning to finish completed. And I've gotten quite a few done. Am I out of room? I think I'm out of room on my lamp. Let me pause and change it. Okay, so let's tilt up a little bit here. Okay, so down here I have, this is a grunt suit. I love this grunt suit. I don't think they reprinted it ever. I've got his arms and stuff like that. That's from Build Fighters. I'm keeping that. These are all These are, which from Mercury kits. The kits were really neat. They had some really, really cool. See, that part kept falling off. They were pretty inexpensive. I think they were like IBO. They had a really good new design. These guys are great. Fantastic. I prefer the redone model, but I have extras of these. But these could also be scale agnostic. I'm going to keep those too. And these are also not hard to find, you know. These battle at the battle at the border at the battle lane are fantastic. These are so good. People slept on these so much. The 1 in 48 scale version of this was so freaking good. One of my top 50 toys, kits, whatever, all time. They're real stout. They're an interesting look. I don't think their little things back here open, though. The little hatches where the people... See, the people go in here. So the people, they pop in the back there. So I don't... Usually on the 48 scale, it pops open and you can put the little guy in there. They're just a really, really, really unique, fun take. They're not ginormous. This guy was incredible. This demon one. I can't remember what was his name. Absolutely going to keep this one. Anything that I might not use, but I'm just going to keep as a cool kit. I just think it's fantastic. You can still get these, but it's just a fun kit. Here I have, I think I'll probably get rid of the battle. No, I'll probably keep those. They're great. They're fantastic. Just such a good design. Such a good design. Let's put these over here. I'm just kind of going through this so we're not making a 4-hour video. Let's see, I'm going to move up a little bit like that. Then move down a little. There, it's fine. That's good enough. Ogre's suits here from, these things are insane. Ogre was fun in Re-Rise in the VR universe. He was this crazy guy, his real, I'm burning up for Gunpla, that kind of thing. And just made these incredibly fun. And this was the larger, his later version had as a club. I love these guys. It's just a fun, silly. Again, any monster-looking kit, I'm keeping those for sure. And if they were, these guys are all cheap, but if I find an expensive one, then I'm probably not going to sell it. This was, of course, Intrigrade is something I collect. I've always collected Intrigrade because they're just so fantastic. This was the USA version from the, as you can see, it's like super kitted out in USA. From a Re-Rise. I don't think no, you can find this still, but this is a kind of special one to me. I really, really love Intrigrades. I love that they put out an Intrigrade as part of the main line, and they're just, Intrigrade's so happy. That makes me so happy. This guy was really interesting. I don't know that I'll keep him, but he reminds me of like Custodian from Warhammer or something like that. It all unfolds and stuff. He kind of reminds me a lot, maybe that's intentional, of the Death one, which I'll show you here. This is from the I can't get it. Anyway, I think it reminds me of that, but it's like the good version. Has a bunch of fun gimmicks. So some of these were really bad. This is the little version, by the way. You put the armor on. Everybody knows what that is. Some of them had really stupid designs. This little guy was fun, the dragon, but I don't really have any attachment to it. They had just kind of boring standard designs, and you got these crazy ones with giant backpacks and stuff. Then you got this. This one was really good. This is my favorite one for sure. Has the military backpack. And see, this is the one I was talking about that was related to this one. So I guess he's inspired by that one. That backpack goes back there or whatever. Just I love that brown and orange. Do I have a special place in my heart for them? Not really, because you can find these anywhere, but the backpack is, I love the backpack. I'll show you one that I got with 30 minutes. All right, I think I just showed you. There's a backpack you get with a 30 minutes, like an expansion pack. And you open it up, and let's see which way does it open up. I forget. This way. And there's the gun, and it folds out, and there's like a suitcase, and there's that you could use in action figures and all sorts of stuff. So really, really cool. This is a grunt suit that I really love. I loved all the grunt suits. I don't think they sell this anymore. You can find it from resale for expensive. I started to paint it and messing with stuff, and I didn't finish it. So I'm sure I'm going to keep that one because, again, that's just a generic scale. That could be a robot buddy that, you're this tall or he could be that tall or, I don't buy that as 1 in 1/44 scale. I buy that as just, a humanoid robot. This guy was interesting. Had a lot of neat things. Again, they like this kind of like pokey stuff. This one was boring as hell. Oh, my God. This one was so boring. But, it had some interesting things. Some of the designs, I think they were just going for like really too close to other kits. They were trying to show what they were inspired by too much. This is a Liger. It was normally 70 something. I got it for 40, so I'd have to sell it for like 15 or 20. I'm not going to sell that. This is like it's not a super nice one. It's not one of the really, really nice ones, I don't believe. But you know, it's a cool kit. I just don't have it assembled right now. I need to kind of love to wash it, paint it up. But you know, it's kind of a fun build. And I'm a Zoids guy, don't you know? So what I'll have to do, let's see if I can scooch just a bit more, because I'm getting kind of close here. I'm almost to the end here, so don't worry. So again, if you saw anything you wanted, and you know me, or you're going to go to the Gunpla Club, let me know. This old kit's fun. I've used his parts a million times. Let's see if I can get this lamp a little better. Sorry, my bad. Do it. I don't need that much love. This was from Seed. What was this guy from? Had like we would transform kind of, but I do really like the design, and something about this series had some really interesting things in it. Really cool. So, but I don't have a real attachment to this one. It is a cool figure though, and I think you can still find those. All the Reconquista kits were amazing. This one I was attempting to do some painting stuff with it, never did it. I'll probably throw his head and hands on there. But that backpack, I mean, look at that. It's like a giant hand. I remember reviewing that and being like, wow, that is something else. You can put laser beams and all of the, you know. So that might be a keeper just because of the parts are so nice. But, you know, I have this old Buster one that it was one of my first attempts at weathering. And I think it came out all right. I didn't do seam lines and stuff. I still don't really care that much about seam lines because a giant robot would have seam lines. It's just, unless it's cloth or something. But, you know, he's dusty and stuff like that. You know, I'd probably keep him because any of my customs I kept, any of the ones that I painted on, that show that kind of my, as I was learning kind of thing. This guy was great. I think he was from Art Re-Rise as well. I love the missile backpack, the sword, and it has a little, it's just a fun military looking suit. I don't know that I'll keep it because it's real common to get, but somebody might want that and wasn't able to pick it up. But you can still find these guys as well. All the original Build Fighters kits I won in a contest. I'll just go back in my videos and you can see it. But I took some, and it was my first attempts to do weathering and customization. So I was swapping out their arms for other arms and stuff. So you'll see some that have some painted parts and some not. So those, I don't know that anybody would really even want that. But also it's, you know, these I won these, and I thought it was really fun. So they're sentimental. I'll probably end up keeping all those. You know, I've got the Shiki or whatever, Mega Shiki, which is still a fantastic kit. Has all these bits and baubles and stuff to it. I have all the stuff that he came with. This guy was fantastic. I remember when I won at my neighbor's kid, I gave him the one with the symbols on the shoulders, the burning whatever kit, and he built it. And my neighbor said, "Yeah, he built it," and then threw it in his toy box and never looked at it again. I was like, "Dang." So he's missing a little bit here. I've got again all the bits, all the fire, any swords or anything they're missing. This guy was great. I think this is a later one though. I think this is not the first series, but you know, impressive. This is what they used to do. They would do these really unusual, cool looking, just strange kits and stuff that had, now, I mean, compare that to like, you know, they just used to really innovate a lot. But Build Fighters was first then, being done then. So like this is the death one, which I hated building this. No, this one wasn't the bad, it was a crossbow I hated. But I think that's maybe connected. Somebody know, I might have missed the reference in the he's got his toes. You see his toes are curled in more. That's a cool little. I need to rewatch all the Build series. They're my favorite. I love that. I got a little Leo. Tons of Leos are just pretty common. I got this older kit from Build Fighters, which I might keep all the Build Fighters stuff. You can see what I have here. Let me undo this and I'll just show you. So I've got Gianco there and her special one and some other stuff. So what I'll probably end up doing, I think that's pretty much it. Let's go back here. So I'll probably end up just, oh, and then here, let me show you this. I don't want you to see my ugly feet because I've been out in the garden. So this, I keep all the weapons, but what I do is I organize them, you know, like backpacks. I think this is backpacks. You know, I have backpacks from Star Wars, all sorts of stuff. Because, you know, build a dude, you're like, hey, give me a backpack. Feet? What is it? I don't know what that is. But random stuff like that. So I kept all the parts. This one is swords. As you know, if you're a builder, you get a quadrillion beam sabers. I've got shields. There's the shield for my Hama, which I don't like using that on Hama. It just is too big, but also that thing is kind of flimsy and it'll fall apart if you put too much weight. Then I have, this is just one box of weapons. And I have literally probably another 2 of those in weapons that I've collected over the years. So I'll pretty much cut it off there and just keep what I'm going to keep. I mean, that's a good little screen cap. Let me see. I go, boop. Did that take a photo? I think it did. There we go. Anyway, I'll probably just keep what I want, obviously, and then the rest I'm going to put them all in bags. And then I'm going, like, I'll take my little gun cannon here. I'll find its original hands. I'll put $5 or whatever, because you can find these for nothing, Sometimes people like to buy the pre-built or the already built, because, oh, wait, he's got paint on him, so I'd have to, I'll probably keep him. But anyway, some people like that because they don't want to put them together, but they love customizing. So this is a way for them to do that. Now, a lot of the things, too, I don't really mess with. I definitely don't do seam lines, and I don't mess with. I mean, I do seam lines if I'm doing a build like that, but I don't mess much with, like, nub marks and stuff. I just cut them out and build them really fast for review. So some people actually like that because then that gives them a chance to actually take the nub marks off themselves, because some people want to do it themselves. He's got his head right here. This is a really fun. I love these suits. It's really cool. It comes with like a wire and stuff. So a lot of people like to buy pre-built ones. Either they want to add them to their collection or whatever. They collect a certain line, or they just want to have stuff for customizing, spare parts, stuff like that. So anyway, there you go. In fact, I know, because I'm missing some of the steampunk, yellow ones. Where are they? Oh, they're up there on my shelf. I see them now. I have some different kits out there still, probably about 15 or 20 more. I will go, if it's a normal kit, like this guy, you can, everything's there. Of course, I have to find it, but everything's there and stuff, and it's still in good shape. I'll definitely would do like half off or whatever, or just trade for, like, put 5 or 10 kits for one larger one or something. That kind of stuff is fun. But anyway, I just thought the Gunpla Club might want to see this, and also anybody else. But if you see anything that was kind of interesting, let me know. I really don't have much collectible kits, if they are collectible-ish at all, like up here. Like these guys there. They're my favorites. This guy you can find anywhere, but he's one of my favorite things ever. That MG, whatchamacallit, is one of my favorite things ever. These cat things. I'm getting ready to review the 4th one, and then I got to get the 5th one. So I have things that I already want to collect, and they're roughly like larger. I like larger stuff. That's what I'm kind of going for, and I've actually engineered my shelves now to have quite a bit more space. So up there, I've got more room for more Hexagear, because I know there'll be more Hexagear. I already pre-ordered some. Got a little bit of Space Marine-y stuff over there. Over here will be my. This is going to be my. I'll make a video about this. This will be my Archcore stuff. Have some lighting there in the background. That'll be fun. So anyway, thought you all might want to check that out. There you go. Have a good day. Talk to you later. Bye.